What's going on? Welcome back. If you haven't heard, there is a masculinity crisis going on right now, according to Andrew Tate or Hamza, or there's plenty of dudes out there that support this theory, and I agree, but not in the same way. I think it's half of an argument that is very important, but there's more to it, And the thing is, this whole masculinity is under attack, or it's dwindling, is dying, testosterone is plummeting. Whatever facet of this argument you wanna hone into, it's true. It is absolutely true. Men are not disciplined. They're not standing in their power. They're not holding space. They're not, in charge of their lives, or, for the vast majority are not. They don't know how to support themselves. They don't know how to financially support themselves, physically defend themselves, or rationally or mentally. A lot of men are depressed and down and scared and taken care of, dependent on the government, you name it. But my point is, it's a valid argument, 100%, in my opinion. Men are not men these days. They are citizens, they're neutral citizens. They're proper cookie cutter citizens that do what they're told. And that's not a masculine quality. Masculinity is about independence. It's about freedom. It's about work. It's about discipline. It's about protection. It's about, there is a lot of masculine traits that come across as aggressive if they're improperly handled, if they're not, regulated and maturely used, which is the other half of this argument that I think is not being discussed. So that the foundation, I want to make it clear that I do agree with this message. I think it's a very important message, but also the message that is not being talked about is the fact is there's two wings to a bird, right? There's the masculinity and there's femininity, and every single human being has a percentage of both, and it's an important percentage of both, because without the empathy and the emotional aspect and being in touch with your emotions and being mature about it and loving and being loving and accepting of people, especially people you disagree with, or people that have it not as well off as you, or these kind of traits and qualities, these nurturing aspects that are typically feminine, they do belong in men as well, and vice versa. So, this half of the argument is kind of being ignored. So basically, I just want to kind of elaborate on that a little bit, because I think it was Dr. Zach Bush that brought up the term, the two wings of the bird. As a civilization, we need to kind of embrace this idea of both masculine and femininity in balance. The balance of the two is very important, and it exists uniquely within each of us. Each of us have our own different spectrum and percentage of both, but it is a human quality to embody both. And so we need to kind of think about where we are as a, if we're all kind of being funneled into this idea of neutrality and how anybody can be anything, and no extremes are allowed, no polarizing opinions, no conspiracy theories, no extremes, no this or that, everything's black or white, left and right. That's really not how it is. It's always both. There's always two sides to everything, and that's that's very relevant to the argument of masculinity. And I think I just want to add my voice into the argument and say, yes, this is fundamentally missing. Men are not disciplined. A lot of us, we haven't had fathers instill discipline, instill proper masculine qualities in a proper way, in a positive light. It's usually been in a negative light. It's been very hyper aggressive, very defensive, very stubborn, very angry. And this is why the patriarchy gets a bad rep, because capitalism is a predatory system. by its nature. And so the predatory aspects of masculinity is very prevalent in our civilization and in the systems of government and such that we are part of. And so I want to say personally that it's not masculinity that's the issue, and it's the mishandling of masculinity. And there's not too much of it. There's far too little of it. There's far too little emotionally mature men that have their emotions under control and can use their emotions to fuel their power and to stand in their power and to hold space and hold protection for people that don't have power. And the message that Andrew Tate and the like are promoting is very blunt and very aggressive. And it's like, if you're not rich, if you're not where you want your physique to be, if you're not where you want to be in life, if you're not a powerful individual, if you're not this or that, then fuck you, you suck, get your shit together, do what you need to do, stop crying, stop being a little bitch. Like, this is the kind of the vibe. And honestly, a lot of guys are flocking to it because we want to hear it. That's what we expect. We want that voice. We need that voice, and we missed it out from our fathers for the most part. And so we're clamoring to these people that are saying that to us because we know it to be true. That's where discipline comes from. No matter what you are, where you are in life, no matter what hand you're dealt, no matter what circumstances, it's up to you to be responsible with your hand and do with it what you need to do to get where you need to go. And that's a voice, that's a challenge that many men have been missing. Like, as a man, you want to be challenged. You want to rise to challenges. This is the essence of competition. We want to be challenged and to have things expected of us. We want to be expected of and to live up to that and to rise to challenges and to go for things and to achieve and to work. But we don't want to be fucking like mishandled and misused and mistreated and unappreciated. Like, that's kind of where it's turned, like. So anyways, I hope that was clear in a way that doesn't come across as judgmental on either side, because I feel like femininity is also in a dark place too, where there's no space in this society for warmth and love and empathy and acceptance of people. And most people, regardless of gender, are not emotionally mature. They can't handle their emotions, and so they lash out and cause harm and destruction. And this is what Bruce Lee was saying when he said be like water. He's saying, yeah, go with the flow of life, fill the container, but also he's saying that you got to be powerful, and you got to be able to hold that power and not destroy and not be destructive and not just go hurricaning around because somebody said something that doesn't align with your belief system. And so it's a very important distinction that the aspects of acceptance and the aspects of power are two halves of a mature human being. So I don't know. I don't know anything, but what I feel to be true is that as a man, I've been learning that I want discipline, and I want to work on things. I want to get my hands dirty, and I want to have other men around me that push me to be better, and I want to be disciplined, and I want to compete, and I want to protect and serve my community. And it's not a very common thing in society these days. Everyone is supposed to be neutral, it seems, and just go with the mainstream narratives and not be too masculine, or not be if you're too anything. If you're too extreme in any aspect, then you are beaten down for it. So I just want to show my support for men being men properly, and women being women properly, and whatever that means for you. But just remember, there's always two sides to everything, and thinking for yourself is vastly important. And whatever that takes, stand in your power, and be mature, and learn yourself. Go within, find out what it means to you to be masculine or to be feminine, and search for the answers within yourself and not within your government, because we all know the government is not here to help. They're here to make us fight each other. So that's all, I suppose, for this one. It's a big topic, big argument. Please, if you have any comments or any differing opinions or similar opinions, share them. Let's have conversation. Let's open this up. And yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.